Hi, thank you for clicking on today's video. If you're new here, I go by NickyT and I love creating tech, gaming, and PC related build content. So today I have something special for you. I'm basically going to be building in this Fractal Terra, and I've been actually searching for an ITX case that's going to fit what I have planned for this, and that's basically being able to travel, durable, and also be able to fit really decent sized hardware to be able to really have a desktop gaming experience, but be able to be mobile. So believe it or not, I actually love being outside. So I'm actually planning on taking this camping. So that's how I kind of ended up with the Jade color here. So if you notice, this has this beautiful Jade greenish color, and then it has this beautiful wood trim. I mean, perfect setting to be able to bring into a forest, and it's just really going to accentuate that vibe. So if you're new here, I go by NickyT, and I absolutely love building PCs. So if that resonates with you, then definitely consider subscribing as you watch this video. Currently at Micro Center, so today they actually gave me permission to come in and film. So we're gonna try to see if we can find the parts for that little ITX build that I've been working on. So we're just gonna kind of see what deals they have. Trying to save some money as always, and I think this is the best place to do it. So I don't know if there's something releasing today, but it looks like there's a line. So I guess we'll just kind of go in there, see how it is. And we're actually gonna meet with the GM and just have him kind of walk us through it. So take you guys with me. All right. So we just got done talking to Aaron. He's their GM, pretty awesome guy. And it's kind of crazy how many people are already in here. Like, I'm guessing all these people are just lining up just because they love this place. I mean, why else are you here? Okay, so I haven't fully decided on what case that I want to go with, but I need a really, really small ITX case. And I don't know how many they actually have. The only one I think they have is this one by Fractal. But even that, I feel like is too big to travel with. What do you think? Like, it would fit in a backpack.
Yeah.
Do you think it would fit in some of my backpacks?
I think so. Or a suitcase. You know, those little travel suitcases.
I was eyeballing that one, but I don't know. It's actually about that brand that reached out to me. I don't think they have it on display though.
Oh, yeah.
I like that one.
Yeah, I like the shape.
I like the fish tanky kind of curved. I really like
Cool stuff with those tubes in there.
Yeah, something like that. These are really nice. All right, so the power supply that I think I'm going with is by Lume. It's the 750 and it's a SFX power supply. So the reason why I like these a lot is they're fully modular, and I actually trust Lume for power supplies, and it's $129. You're always going to pay a premium, unfortunately, for small form factors. Okay, so something that is really awesome about Micro Center is that they always have really good open box deals. And I've personally bought a lot of open box parts from Micro Center, and I've personally never had an issue. So I trust actually getting the open box parts, and it's a great way to save money if you guys are trying to do a build, like literally hundreds of dollars over the course of your build. So I need to find an ITX board. I saw that they had a few pop up, so we might have to actually ask for help there. Okay, so something that you guys can do if you decide to come in here and buy yourself is look up the parts, kind of see where they're at, and then you can match them up when you're looking for them if you don't have somebody helping you. So right now, it was actually up here on this little shelf, and I found it, so not bad. Okay, so we found the ROG Strix 650E, which is an ITX board, and it's actually a refurbished board, and it's $143. So, I mean, that saves $35 right off the top, which, I mean, that's good enough for me for what I'll be using it for. So we got two of the parts. We have the power supply and the motherboard. So we're moving. Okay, so I was trying to find a good low profile cooler, and Thermalright has recently been one of my favorite brands, and I'm surprised that they actually have it here, which is awesome. So it's the AXP90 X47, which apparently is a really good cooler for this. It's really low profile. It's meant for HTPCs or ITX builds. So kind of doing some research, and it looks like it works with the Fractal Terra, which is what I'm thinking I'm gonna build it in. So I think we have our winner right here. Okay, so it's a little busy over there, so just decided to film over here real quick. So we got the cooler, we got the motherboard, power supply. I decided to go with the Fractal Terra. Somebody actually shouted this case out in the comments when I was actually asking about cases. So gonna go with that. I actually got with the Jade version too. So the reason for that is I actually want to be able to use this case for when we go camping and stuff, because I do really like to be outdoors, but the idea of gaming and being outdoors just sounds really awesome. So I decided to go with that. And then I got a 1TB 990 Evo for the storage. So it's NVMe. Samsung's the best for sure. And then I got a DDR5 6000 Team Group low profile memory kit. It's CL30 and it's 32 gigabytes, and they actually had a really good deal on it. It's only $86, which I was really surprised to see that price. All right, so I was looking for a travel keyboard, and I think this might be the one. It's by Keytron, which is a good brand, and it's slim, it's wireless, and it actually has dual functionality with Mac and apparently Windows functionality. So it has command keys options, so I could actually use this for my iPod or something like that. So I like devices that have multiple uses, so we're gonna go with that one. I think I was paying attention, I almost walked off that edge. All right, so we went the Fractal Terra, which we went the Jade version, and we got it for 150 bucks because it was on sale. Went with low profile Thermalright cooler, so it should fit in this case. I hope so. Kind of did last minute research on that one. 750 watt SFX Leon Lee. I think it's gonna look really nice, braided, fully modular, so we can limit the amount of cables that are in there. Keytron. So this one is gonna be awesome because it's really thin, it's wireless, you can use it for multiple devices. So this RAM kit is actually really nice. It's CL30, I think, pretty sure. Yeah, I think it is CL30, 6,000 megahertz, and we got it for $86, so that was a steal. And then 990 Evo Plus, 1TB, it was on sale for $75, so huge savings all across the board. I'll have to do some sort of calculated savings for this whole build because I saved probably like over $200. And then I got the ROG V650E. It's an ITX board, and it has Wi-Fi, which is good too. And I got that one certified refurbished by Micro Center, which I think is gonna be really good. Cost effective. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. And I think that's all. So we're gonna go home and we're gonna build this thing. So appreciate it, guys. Shout out to Micro Center for letting me go in and film. Awesome. Everybody's really helpful there. If you guys ever have the chance to go there, definitely look for the deals. It's the only place that you can go to pick PC parts out and save a ton of money. So definitely check them out. Okay, so I'm sure you've seen by now, this case has a beautiful form factor. It's just a little over 10 liters in size. And what's really nice about this, honestly, is the fact that you have that sandwich design, and it really allows you to be able to fit really beefy, I would say, computer parts using an ITX board, and you can fit a triple fan design almost up to 3 slots, depending on the actual cooler size for your graphics card. Really hard to do in these little form factor builds. So I think this is the perfect case to be able to start off with the low profile 5060 and then expand on it if you want to upgrade. Something I really like is how simple this front panel design is. Love the wood grain with the jade green. I just think it's the best looking colorway that they offer in this. So something that's really nice is that this case has really nice ventilation all around it. So you can draw in air from practically anywhere through the case, even through the bottom. So from this angle, you can really see the layout and design here. So you have the motherboard that's gonna be on this side of the case, and there's an included riser cable that's pre-installed. And then you have your SFX power supply that could fit right here in this cage. And the entire other side of the case is designated for your GPU. And what's really cool, if you look at these here, right now they're covered, but basically these allow you to adjust the depth that you can make room for like a larger graphics card or a larger CPU cooler right here. So just depending on what you're prioritizing in the build, you can kind of adjust the case to make it fit. All right, something that's also really nice about this case that feels very premium is the little side panels. So they actually just flip open like that with these hinges and they sit up. So if you want to work on the case, boom. Now you have full access on both sides of the case. You can easily access everything in the case, quick access, especially after you get done building it, especially if maybe something's not working, you want to take a look at it, whatever you need to do, just really easy to get in there and start working on it. And then last, we're going to look at the bottom of the case. You can see that there's this raised cutout here, and there's basically little feet on this. And the reason for that is it's going to allow it to lift up. That way you can actually get cooling if you want to bring in cooled air from the bottom of the case. So the main two components for this build are going to be the 5060 low profile. It's only 8 gigabytes of VRAM, but to be honest, sometimes for these low profile little SFF builds, then that's really all you need, especially when you see what I planned for the overall build. I do agree that these should come with at least 12 gigabytes of VRAM. 16 would be ideal. And then as well, I picked out the 9600X. I think this is one of your best bang for the buck processors. Right now, especially, you might be able to find this on a deal and get it for super cheap. I was able to get mine for about 165 US, which was a really good price. Definitely got to stay on the lookout for these. And what's really nice about this is it's a really efficient processor that has 6 cores and 12 threads. That's just going to be able to chew through pretty much anything, and it actually scales really well depending on which GPU you use it with. All right, so the motherboard that I've decided to go with for this build is the ROG Strix B650E-I, which has an amazing set of features, especially in the ITX form factor, you know, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, everything like that, M.2s. It has even USB-C, which I think is rare for ITX boards for some reason. I haven't seen too many that actually have that header. So I think this is going to be perfect. Something awesome here is I got this certified refurbished from Micro Center, so I ended up saving like I think $45 on top of the cost of the board. I actually trust buying refurbished or use like open box parts from Micro Center. All right, so we're gonna just quickly go over the cooler that I decided to go for this build, and that is the AXP90-X47 by Thermalright. I think Thermalright is one of the best for cooling solutions, especially if you're looking to do an ITX build. This right here was only $50 US, and I think it's gonna easily fit in this case. So I think I'll have room to work with, and I do trust Thermalright as a brand, and I have used them multiple times for the builds that I use, and I've had zero issues with anything. Decided to choose a 990 Evo Plus by Samsung. This is a Gen 5 M.2. So it's NVMe, it's super fast. Samsung is definitely one of the best, if not the best, when it comes to memory solutions. And I have used these multiple times. I have them in my personal builds. They're insanely fast. It's up to 7,150 write speed or read speed. So it's amazing. So for this build, I really didn't care about RGB, especially for the RAM. I just wanted to get a cost-effective, high-performing RAM kit. So this is by TC So it's a DDR5, 32 gigabyte, 6,000 speed CL30 kit. And what's really nice about this is they're low profile, so I shouldn't have any issues with clearing any of the other components in here. And then the nice thing about this too is that these were only $86. So saved a ton of money just going with a cheaper, more kind of sleek, less RGB RAM kit. And to be honest, I think it's perfect for this build. All right, so the power supply that I've chosen to go with this build is the SP750 by Leon Lee. It's an amazing SFX power supply. I think Leon Lee has probably my favorite SFX power supplies. I have multiple of them. I have an 850, and I also have another 850 that I really like by them, and it's white versus the black version that I went with this. I went with the black because I just think it would mix a little bit well with the Jade coloring, and that was the main reason. But One of the reasons that I really like going with Leon Lee is that all of their cables, they come sleeved and they're really nice. Something that Leon Lee I think prioritizes is really nice cabling and cable management, especially for if you're just trying to go with these and you're not looking to do like custom sleeve cables. These are a great alternative, especially keeping like external, like additional costs down while you're trying to build. For the last part for this build, I actually decided to pick up the Keytron B1 Pro. I was actually surprised that this was only like 30 US dollars. And what's really cool about this is it has dual functionality. So it supports both Windows and Mac. So I actually use both. I use Mac a ton for like my iPads. I actually primarily edit off my MacBook M4 Pro Max. Can't even remember if I said that right because their naming schemes are so confusing nowadays. But once I saw this, I was like, man, this is awesome. I really wanted something that is going to be easy for travel and that I can use with this PC. But then also the fact that if I want to use this for my iPads or something like that in my MacBooks, I think that's really awesome. It has both 2.4 gigahertz and then also Bluetooth capability. So really cool. It actually has a really nice feel to it, which I was impressed with. It actually has a really nice depth to the keys, which I was surprised given how skinny it is. All right, so there you have it. This is the entire build. So I wanted to piece this together to be able to have a mobile gaming setup that I can take camping with me or when I travel, especially like road trips, setting up in a hotel room or being able to go visit family and still have a gaming setup that you can set up and just be able to game and be able to actually play games at high fidelity. So overall, this turned out really awesome. I'm really pleased with the way that this came out, and I like the package here. You could easily pack this in like a carry-on luggage size or a large backpack. I have this really cool travel duffel that this will all easily fit in. So pretty awesome that you can have something like this in today's world. So yeah, it's pretty awesome that you can have something like this in today's world and be able to play Cyberpunk on something that's this size. So some of the workarounds that I had to do for this case is I installed a 120 fan right here, and I ended up actually putting a grill on that fan so you can grab the fan and move it around if you'd like. And I actually put two 120 fans on the bottom as intakes, and those are 15 millimeter fans, so they're really low profile, and they actually fit underneath this case. And there's actually probably like 1 or 2 millimeters of room for air to actually get underneath the fans. I did do some testing and there really wasn't that big of a difference between elevating the case more and where it was, which I thought was kind of interesting. So, but overall what's happening now is there's positive pressure flowing through the case and ejecting that hot air that wasn't able to escape before because the low profile 5060 doesn't have enough mass to passively cool, and the fans are really like those little 40 millimeter fans, so there just isn't enough airflow going through the case without the added fans. By adding the fans, I was able to go from about 85C to probably 75C overall, so which is pretty awesome. Happy with 75C. I think that's good, especially playing a game like Cyberpunk. So perfect. I would say it's probably like the perfect little build to be able to take with you. But you could easily swap out the 5060 and go for like a 5070 or something that has more like more space, like more mass to be able to cool, like a larger heat sink, larger fans. They usually come with 120 fans to be able to actually move the air and suck air in through the sides. So I just think the 5060 low profile is just too small to be able to do that on its own, at least. All right, so if you enjoyed this video, definitely consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel, and definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. It really does help push the video to new audiences. And drop me a comment down below. What was your experience building in this case? What would you have done differently? And you know, just let me know, like, feedback on the video. I really am receptive to any sort of positive feedback or anything like that. Constructive feedback, whatever it is. I do love just in general having conversation around PC building and parts. That's why I do it. I love the engagement. So let me know how you're feeling, and until the next build, see you guys.